Bob's Burgers follows Bob Belcher, his wife Linda, and their 3 kids, Tina, Jean, and Louise. This show is revolutionary in the animated world, as no animated show had ever been written about a family that has 3 children, and also makes burgers before. This original concept catapulted the show into the stratosphere and onto the pages of the animated history books. No, but seriously, Bob's Burgers centers around Bob and Linda trying to run their burger restaurant while also trying to fix whatever mess their kids have gotten into. Like many of the animated sitcoms that preceded it, Bob's is episodic, which means its episodes end with the conflict resolved and the plot wrapped up. This means the show has no overarching storyline connecting episodes. This allows the viewer to jump into any episode without having seen any other one and still be able to follow along. The show comes from the mind of Lauren Bouchard, who worked on the animated classic Dr. Katz. Following that, he would go on to create the cult classic animated show Home Movies for Cartoon Network. Much like Dr. Katz, Home Movies employed what Bouchard called retroscripting, which basically just means he got the voice actors together in a room with a plot outline, and then he would just allow them to improvise all the dialogue. Next, that dialogue was edited together to create a plot, and then it was used to animate the episode. This was vastly different from most of the animated shows at the time, like The Simpsons, Futurama, and Family Guy, which rarely deviated from their actual script. Bouchard would utilize a similar mindset when he created Bob's Burgers. The main difference, though, was a more scripted plotline for the episodes to follow, but still leaving that dialogue open so the actors could improvise and add a more personal feel to each conversation. Another important aspect from Home Movies and Dr. Katz that Bouchard brought with him was the voice of H. Jon Benjamin, who plays the titular Bob. H. Jon has become one of the most well-known voice actors over the last 2 decades. His roles include voicing Ben Katz, Carl.
Hi, I'm Bob from Bob's Burgers. How about that show Archer? You watch that show Archer? Here's that guy Archer. Hi, I'm Archer from that show Archer.
H. Jon's past experience with Bouchard as well as his improv format would prove to be a vital asset, propelling the first episode to almost 10 million live viewers, as well as the highest rated series premiere of the entire television season. Following that stellar first episode was a first season that performed much differently. With vastly lower numbers averaging under 5 million viewers per episode for the whole season, this almost 50% drop in viewership also came with mixed reviews from critics and fans alike. The challenge facing Bob's Burgers during these early days was its inability to establish a distinct identity. This caused there to be no clear consensus on what went wrong or even what to change in order to make viewers tune back in. Hundreds of reviews blasted the show for being too crass and immature for primetime television, just like Family Guy and The Simpsons, while others didn't like it for the complete opposite reason. They didn't think Bob's went far enough in order to attract the same viewers that Fox's other animated shows regularly captured. Bob's Burgers would finish the first season without knowing if they would see a second. Fox has been quick to pull the plug on animated shows that failed to meet expectations in the past, having canceled 2 Emmy-winning animated shows during the 2000s in Futurama and King of the Hill. This went along with them canceling the 8-time individual Emmy-winning Family Guy twice over the decade. Optimism wasn't high for more episodes, but in the end, Bob's Burgers would be saved, with Fox ordering a 9-episode second season. The show would start to lean more and more on its main characters, showcasing their interactions and reactions rather than rely on the situation to drive the plot. The most mentioned aspect of the show by critics and fans is the relationship between the family and how they discover to be better to each other throughout the episodes. To go along with this, they have also received near unanimous praise for their use of side characters during the later seasons. These characters and their relationships to the main family are widely reported as one of the show's most loved aspects. Over the next decade, Bob's would find themselves a mainstay on Fox, anchoring their Sunday night lineup for 191 of its 193 total episodes. Over the course of this run, Bob's would release 10 seasons and has already been renewed for an 11th, which is set to premiere this year. To add to this longevity, Fox has also started production on a Bob's Burgers movie, which is set to come out in late 2021. Bob's Burgers has done well with award show voters during their decade on the air, pulling in 15 major awards, including 2 Emmys for Outstanding Animated Program and 4 Annie Awards for Achievement in Animation. Along with these 15 wins, the show has also received over 60 nominations. Regular viewers have also come to love the show, with audiences consistently giving it positive reviews, like an 88% overall rating on Rotten Tomatoes and at least 90% in all but 2 seasons. As well as an average score of 8 on IMDb, critics have also given the show glowing reviews for the majority of its run on television, with very few negative reviews existing on any site. The audience and critic reviews show how viewers have continued to love the Belcher family even after 10 seasons. The awards they have received prove that the show has had years where it shined the brightest amongst its peers. But all of these ratings and awards don't necessarily mean a show was successful during its run. It all depends on how you define success, but to me, as much as television is an art, it's more so a business. A show or movie could sweep the award shows and get the highest rating on every site, but still get canceled because it failed to pull in a decent audience. Awards can rarely make up for lost profit, and if they do, it's only a matter of time before they don't. Networks only care about the amount of viewers a given show can maintain, as well as what demographic these viewers fall into, because these determine the ad revenue. So in other words, nothing matters if no one is watching. I already told you the first episode pulled in almost 10 million viewers, followed by the rest of the season failing to live up to that standard, with viewership dropping by almost 50% by the season finale. But what about the rest of the season? Did they see a similar drop, or did the numbers stabilize as time went on? Well, as you can see, the first and second seasons share a similar downward trend, losing both overall viewers as well as viewers in the key demographic of 18 to 49. The debut episode of the second season received worse ratings than the lowest rated episode of the first season. The third season would see Bob's ratings rise 1/10, while overall viewership increased by almost 300,000 viewers. This 6% increase can be seen across the entire season, with a higher rating for every episode compared to the prior season, showing a stable increase in the audience. This increase, although, would not hold for long, as over the next 4 seasons, Bob's ratings would see a startling drop. From season 4 to season 7, Bob's Burgers experienced a 50% loss in viewership, with episodes dropping from an average rating of 2.03 with 4.1 million average viewers in season 3 to just a 0.94 rating with 2.1 million average viewers in season 7. During this period, the show also won over half of their total awards and nominations, including both of their Emmys. Like I said earlier, lackluster ratings have caused many cancellations in the past. Just take a look at this list of animated shows Fox has canceled since Bob's premiere in 2011. Notable award-winning Seth MacFarlane productions The Cleveland Show and American Dad were canceled in 2013 and 14 respectively. Fox also canceled Napoleon Dynamite, Axe Cop, Border Town, Lucas Bros Moving Company, and several other animated shows after only a single season on the air in the past decade alone. Of the 8 original animated shows Fox released in the 2010s, only 2 would make it past a single season. One was Golan the Insatiable, which lasted an impressive 2 seasons before getting canned. The other was Bob's Burgers. Fox once again showed faith in the Belcher family's potential by renewing the show despite the 4 straight seasons of decreasing viewership. This would prove to be a good move, as Bob's rating and overall viewers would improve by 7% in the 8th season, making it only the 2nd season with an increase in viewership. The 9th season actually followed suit with an almost 10% increase in overall viewership, as well as a 3% increase in the rating. Following this 2-season rise, the 10th season would see a largest drop in the show's history, losing almost a third of viewers in the key demographic, down from 1.04 to 0.73, as well as 25% of total viewers, accounting for almost 600,000 less viewers. So the show's numbers have dropped significantly since it first debuted, with each episode of the 10th season pulling in 3 million less viewers on average than the first, while only seeing an increase in viewership in 3 of the 10 total seasons, with large drops coming in the rest, several of which consisted of an over 30% loss of total viewers. Of all the primetime animated shows that Fox debuted in the 2010s, Bob's Burgers is the only one to have lasted more than 2 seasons, as well as having aired over 9 times more total episodes than the next highest show. The animated shows that debuted in the decade failed to account for a single season with an average rating above a 1.4 or more than 2.5 million total viewers. Bob's Burgers has done both 4 times in the same season, meaning that Bob's pulled in more viewers in the key demographic while also attracting a larger audience outside the usually suspected viewers. Bob's is also the only show during this time to have won multiple Primetime Emmy Awards, as well as having been nominated for the most and won the most major awards over that time period. The only show that's put up similar numbers has been Rick and Morty, which airs on Adult Swim. The only issue with Rick and Morty is that they've only aired 4 seasons despite being in consistent production since 2013. This low output has hampered the accolades the show has been able to obtain, having received both less nominations and less wins than Bob's Burgers. The overall television viewership of Rick and Morty has also been lower than Bob's throughout its existence, meaning the only real competition Bob's Burgers faces from primetime animation is from the industry darling Simpsons and its underrated, often misunderstood little brother, Family Guy. I've broken down the entire comparison between these 3 shows, and there's just so much here that it would take at least another 20 minutes just to get into it, but I'll run through the major points for now. Family Guy and The Simpsons have both pulled in better numbers than Bob's Burgers at almost all points in time. The Simpsons has significantly more awards, more award nominations, more viewers, and a bigger international brand than Bob's Burgers does. While Family Guy, Well, Family Guy's always been the ugly duckling of the animation world, and as such is, let's say, just a really tough time pulling in awards and nominations. But what the show has been able to do is consistently receive higher viewership ratings than Bob's Burgers. Honestly, the only real place that Bob's outshines these two shows is in the production cost. Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane has said the cost to complete a single episode of Family Guy is $2 million, or around $90,000 per minute of screen time. The Simpsons similarly costs millions per episode. Each voice actor on The Simpsons takes home an insane $300,000 per episode. With several voice actors working on each episode, it's pretty easy to see the show's budget can run into the several $1,000,000. What about Bob's? Well, like I said, the production cost is the only place Bob's really shines statistically. The voice actor of Bob's son Gene, Eugene Meerman, has publicly stated that he receives only $4,000 per episode. For reference on The Simpsons, he'd be making 75 times that amount for a near identical, if not larger role than, say, Bart or Lisa, as most of Bob's Burgers revolves around the kids, whereas The Simpsons and Family Guy tend to focus more on the father figure. If the rest of the cast of Bob's makes a similar amount, then it's easy to see how much less it costs to produce the show. An episode of Bob's Burgers could be written, recorded, animated, and published for the same amount The Simpsons pay a single voice actor. So in the end, what do all of these numbers mean? Well, it just means that it would be hard to place Bob's Burgers above shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy due to their difference in viewership and awards. But I would put Bob's Burgers firmly in the #1 spot for animated shows from the 2010s, having higher ratings, more awards, more nominations, and a longer lifespan than any animated show created during the decade. Bob's Burgers easily ranks above all their competition as the most successful animated show from the 2010s. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I've been Semantics, and remember to let me know what your favorite show from the 2010s was in the comments below.